Chicago and the Philippines. A comprehensive review of the week's special community events, featuring many exciting personalities, handled by the most professional Chicago Philippine Reports TV staff.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Chicago Philippine Reports TV, still the #1 Filipino show in the Midwest. I'm Girly Pascual. Welcome to our show. Today we have all the top stories from the Philippines. We also have what's happening in our own Filipino-American community of Chicago. We have interesting interviews led by our very own executive producer, Miss Veronica Layton. We have Bridget Cotero Carino. All these are coming up and more afterward from our sponsors. Please stay with us.
House Ways and Means Committee Chair Joey Salceda, an advocate of charter change, believes the People's Initiative to amend the charter will meet the required 12% of signatures of voters nationwide next week, and that it's on track for ratification by July, confirming a timeline previously exposed by Kabataan Party List.
I think most of the country, I think by next week we must have already achieved the 12%, beyond the 12% of nationals. It's a question of physically submitting it to the local COMELEC region. We are in that process already. Pervasively, I think 80% of the country is already in that process.
The timeline details the milestones from the gathering of signatures, vetting by the Commission on Elections, all the way to the plebiscite. Salceda is unbothered by the 20 districts where there is difficulty in getting the signatures of the 3%, since there are 60 districts where more than 3% have been gathered. Advocates are careful though, since missing even just one district will kill the initiative.
I think we will have, the PI is already inevitable. I heard that Marco Wangko is trying to beat 50%. Mian Singson has beaten 30%. There is an attempt to, go beyond to make up for example, for the slow-moving.
Albay 1st District Representative Edsel Lagman, however, maintains the signature gathering process is flawed, arguing that verified voters should sign the petition in front of an election register. He hopes the COMELEC will issue the necessary clarification. Salceda believes the House will insist on their version of the amendments to the economic provisions of the Charter, which they approved in the 18th Congress, claiming it has a bigger and better impact on the economy as it amends 7 provisions compared to the 3 sectors in the Senate proposal. Salceda explains the Senate proposal only affects public utilities, education, and advertising, but the House also wants changes to natural resources, land, and mass media ownership.
Yung ino-open nila, maabot lang ng 2%. Yung ino-open ng House, 14% of the entire GDP. So 3.11% versus 15%. So 5 times. So bakit, why go for 3 times? Magbubukas ka na lang, di buksan mo na lahat. That is where all the investments are needed, like agriculture and natural resources. Natural resources, which would include, of course, management of our forest land, and of course, mining. So yung 14 na yan could easily become, I think, in terms of expansion of economic activity, yung current 14 can easily be, our own estimates about 42%.
A public advocacy group, the Foundation for Economic Freedom, agrees removing the constitutional restrictions on foreign ownership will make the country more attractive to foreign investors. The group's president, Calixto Chiquiamco, told ENC it is the right time to make changes, particularly the Filipino-only and Filipino-first provisions. He adds the government's procurement law also needs to be revisited since it is being abused by local businesses.
The government's mandated to award bids to Filipino suppliers even if they're 20% more expensive. So it is being abused to extract rent to instead of being able to compete. And then in terms of the Filipino-only provisions in our Constitution, well, in terms of all the other economic restrictions in terms of mass media, advertising, educational institutions, natural resources, ownership of land. I think what we should do is to really open it up, but subject to restrictions that the Congress will impose. No?
Meanwhile, Salceda foresees a problem if the House and the Senate cannot agree on the amendments. He doubts a bicameral conference committee can be convened and a charter amendment. He hopes deliberations will instead be joint, even if voting is separate.
I cannot foresee a kind of reconciliation through a bicameral conference committee because that is not provided for as one of the processes of Congress acting as a constituent assembly.
The House's resolution of both houses number 2 in the 18th Congress is among the 358 attempts by lawmakers to change the Constitution since the 18th Congress. Meanwhile, Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri says he will resign if political amendments are made to the Constitution.
I rest assure you, wala po tayong political amendments. It will be my political head at stake. At least sa amin sa Senado, hindi namin papasingit yan. If there will be a move like that, then I will resign as Senate President.
It's more fun in the Philippines.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is the perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 901-245-4874. That's 901-245-4874. 901-245-4874. That's 901-245-4874.
Via Times, vital news, vibrant views for the Filipino Asian communities in Chicago. Via Times for your most interesting and exciting reading and your party coverages. Via Times has very interesting columnists. You name it, Via Times has it. Law, Filipino news, dentistry, immigration, humor, serious opinions, health, beauty, mysticism, Bata Corner, showbiz, and intelligently written editorials. Call Via Times at 773-866-0811.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to the Veronica segment of the show. Today, I have a very interesting person to interview in this cold weather in Chicago. His name is Mr. Dale Tippett, and Dale has been a good friend of ours, and He works as a managing real estate broker here in Chicago, and Dale will be talking to us about the future or the present um, status of real estate here in our little town of Chicago. Hi, Dale. Welcome to our show. And
Well,
I
much.
also know that Dale has just come back from the Philippines, right? There you spent your December month in until Christmas in the Philippines, right?
That's correct. We had a wonderful time. We have family there, and we were in Pampanga, and we were invited to a wedding that was a must attend, and it was a beautiful event, and I had a great time. I was fortunate enough to co-officiate. I was able to bring the message at the wedding. I'm a bivocational pastor. I'm a real estate broker owner, what's now called a designated real estate managing broker. I know that's a mouthful, but every so many years, the state of Illinois changes what we call ourselves. So, but I'm a real estate broker and also a chaplain slash pastor in the area. So I had the distinct honor of bringing the message at the wedding and was able to do a Christmas Eve message as well there in one of the local churches that we've got an affiliation with. It was a great time.
Well, Dale, being a pastor and a realtor, and well, you're also involved in our community because
Yes.
you are also a contributor for the Via Times News magazine, and thank you so much for that. And so,
Uh,
you keep yourself so busy this way?
Yeah, it's well, you know what? It's already been 20 years since we've been friends, Veronica. I was thinking about that over the past couple of months. We met back in 2003, and it was the 4th of July, an Independence Day event. And we just kept in touch over the years. I've had a long-standing relationship, wonderful relationship with the Filipino community, and have so many friends. And it's just been a pleasure to be a part of the community and be running the circles with so many good times, so many good people, so much fun. It's been nice.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing you, Dale, since when I was a little girl.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Okay. Well, Mr. Del Tippett is married to a Filipina whose name is Lorna, and she's also very much involved in the community. But also, Lorna has a very beautiful project back in the Philippines. What is that project, Dale?
15 years ago, she planted a church there, and it was just something that was put on her heart to do something in the community where they are, geographically where they are. There were several communities that were impacted by the eruption of Mount Pinatubo in the early 1990s. And parts of these various communities that we had to relocate, came into this one particular area that's a wonderful community now, but it was lacking another neighborhood church. And it was just put on her heart to go ahead and do that. And over the years, I first visited the church in 2009. It started in 2008. I went over there on business in 2009. And it was just a roughed out building, but they were having services. Now, of course, it's the same location, only it's expanded. And it's really just been a blessing to see how the community has benefited from it, and the neighborhoods, of course. And now they're going into like the next generation of young people that are coming up with that church influence. And it's very encouraging. So I got to give her credit for that. She just was obedient to the will of the Lord, and he put it on her heart, and she's been a good steward of that. So very, very happy for that. It's been a blessing.
Wonderful project. Congratulations to Lorna. And well, Mount Pinatubo is, or at the time was considered the activated volcano in the Philippines that really just so suddenly erupted. And the eruption itself has made so much damage and impact in the country. I remember that year. What year was that?
I think that was 1991, if I'm not mistaken, 90 or 91, I believe.
Yeah, I think so, around that time. Okay. We are in 2024, and you have a beautiful new year, and we really have to look forward to a beautiful life in this year. And Dale, can you please tell our viewing audience, as a realtor here in Chicago, the outlook for the real estate in Chicago?
Sure, I'd be happy to. When we first floated the idea about us getting together and maybe talking about what's coming up, a forecast, if you will, for 2024, I had mentioned, I said, I want to touch base with some of my colleagues. And because, in real estate, at least in Illinois, and particularly in Chicago, we have a lot of people that get involved in all of these transactions. And every one of these professionals has a different perspective. And it goes from the realtors to the attorneys, to the loan officers, to the home inspectors, and so forth and so on. Over the last couple of years, it's been so unpredictable because of course, the variable of interest rates, inflation, all these big picture things that go on that actually do impact the retail user, the couple that's trying to buy their first home, or the retiree who's looking to downsize or make some other move. So it is very, very important. From my perspective, I work a lot with sellers who want to put their properties on the market and move. I work with a lot of older clientele as well, mature clientele, and it's a different perspective than someone who's just coming into the market to be a purchaser. However, we're all part of the same transaction, just trying to make this come together. So these variables, whether it's disposable income, the discretion of making a decision for maybe a buyer who says, I need to stop renting, I want to buy a home. Well, the cost of money, which is your interest rates, are very impactful. Taxes are incredibly impactful. And now in Chicago, there's something about a transfer tax that's been debated and is being debated on adding another fee for when a property is transferred. So all this boils down to affordability, and it can impact the marketplace. So I go to a meeting once a year in January. It's at the Executives Club. Typically, it's held downtown Chicago. And I go to this meeting because one of my mentors, I appreciate this lady so much. Her name is Terry Savage. You see her on Channel 9 News. She's been around forever, in a good way, and very, very articulate. She hosts a economic outlook, and it's been going on for 44 years. She has the top economists on the panel, and it's just a handful. There's her and like 3 others. It's about an hour-long luncheon meeting, and they forecast what they think of what's going on in the economy. The consensus is they don't know. They honestly don't know. There's so much uncertainty right now. In 2022 to 2023, my real estate income dropped 30%. My expenses increased 30%. And that's not I don't think that that's unusual for a lot of us who are working professionals. I talked at a Chamber of Commerce event just a week ago. I spoke with a home inspector, and I've done business with this gentleman over the years many times. And he was saying, "How are you doing?" I says, "Well, last year I had a good, for 2023, I had a good first quarter in 2023, and then it trailed off after that. Now in 2024, I've got new listings that are coming on, and I've got some things that are happening. So I'm encouraged about this year." And he says, "Well, that mirrors his year because everything just stopped. There was a shortage of available properties, and he would need available properties for buyers to buy and for him to inspect. And so it's really a chain reaction that happens with one of these real estate transactions. Two people get involved, maybe it's you and me talking about the possibility of selling or buying. Well, then all of a sudden, before you know it, there's another agent involved, another client, be a buyer or seller, attorneys, two attorneys, a loan officer, insurance company. It just keeps on growing. So a lot of people are impacted. Most recently, this morning, I think it was this morning or yesterday, they're even monitoring the decline in furnishing sales, which shows a slowdown in home buying because your appliances and furnishings go with the purchase. You buy a new house, you want to paint it, you want to put items in there. And so the numbers for that can decline too. However, with real estate, it's very difficult to give a broad picture for an area because the marketplace changes so drastically depending upon where you are. You can cross the street and the whole marketplace changes. And so it really depends. I would say the forecast is we just have to proceed cautiously. I think the number one thing that folks need to do, whatever their position, if they're thinking of buying a property or selling a property, they have to look at what are they trying to really accomplish? Is this something that's discretionary? They just want to do it because they want to do it, or is it really a needs-based decision? I'm seeing more needs-based decisions. People are making a move because they can't wait anymore. They need to move on with their life. The discretionary buyer or seller, my particular marketplace, I don't see that as much where they said, well, I'm just going to go ahead and move and sell and whatever and go on. That's the question that one wants to ask, though, is what are you trying to accomplish? And is this the right time? Very important. The one person who can really help the most at the earliest stages possible, just make a friend, a realtor. You want to have a professional who's continually going to school, who's involved in that world, and knows the marketplace that you're interested in going to and where you're currently living. So, and I think that I did get word, and I talked to some loan officers, friends of mine, and then also what came from the economists. Everybody believes that interest rates are going to continue to trend downward. So they were as high as like almost 8% not that long ago, and then now they're probably in the mid sixes, something like that. But there's got to be a balance because taxes fall into that, and then what's the quality of life of where people are going to end up or move to. Schools are a big issue and so forth. So there's a lot involved, but if those folks who need to move on, they can get a loan. They will be able to find a buyer. They will go ahead and be able to function. Do I think it's a good, robust, healthy market at this point? It remains to be seen. So just proceed cautiously and get a realtor. And I believe in Illinois, there's a definite line between realtors or real estate practitioners. Not all real estate brokers or agents are realtors. I think you should be a realtor and belong to the National Association of Realtors and your local association. But there's a very, very definite line between what real realtors can do and what attorneys do. It's just a good practice to have a realtor and get into that realm and have a real estate attorney that you can talk to as well to take care of your personal finances, if you will, with real estate. So hope that.
Yeah, Dale, that is really very, very interesting. It's really, it entails mind-boggling decisions, and the picture really does not look good. Does not look good to me. And but what can we do right now as as either buyers or sellers in the real estate market? We just wait and see what's going to be happening in our area, in the government positions and their laws and rules and regulations regarding real estate. Okay, well, Dale, that was very informative. What we talk about, we can still continue that in some other time. And I thank you really for gracing our show today. Maraming salamat, Dale.
Thank you very much.
At maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, Dale.
Bye-bye now. See you.
See you.
This is a prayer and a reminder. All we have is now. Anak, umuwi ka na.
Worldwide this morning, growing concern over a growing health crisis.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
Hi. I can't hug you. Don't touch me.
Over the last several days, we have seen peaceful demonstrations.
Protests over police brutality continued here in Austin.
Remember when you started going to college? You came home a liberal?
Dad, please.
That's what we do to you guys in school.
All these people that we never met and never will meet because of what had happened to them. It's just too much.
The way that our family communicates is not necessarily, it's not great.
What advice would you give for those of us that are struggling?
Deal with it.
I think the norm for our communities has been to just stay silent and keep to your own business.
I could definitely be doing more than I'm doing right now, and I know that others can as well.
What if someone is called from God to be an activist?
I can answer that question.
Shouting revolution, oh wow, breaking each tradition.
You don't believe in the Black Lives Matter movement?
An advocacy group reporting at least 3,800 anti-Asian hate incidents since last March.
I'm kind of conflicted. I'm like, maybe I should move home and be here with them.
I hope that this moment makes you take a step forward and a step together in the right direction.
In order for a subject to not be taboo in our community, there always has to be someone to start that conversation.
Yeah. You speak up for me when I can't speak up for myself. And I've seen you do that for other people.
I see a lot of people who just kind of cut off friends and family, and I don't think I can do that. I love my parents. This is a symbol of our voices. If you look at your neighbors around you, you will see who stands with you, who stands for you.
At least I know that you can stand up. That's the thing I'm so happy about.
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, we have a very interesting guy, very popular. He has been a Times columnist writing about Social Security, and because he's the Regional Director of Social Security Administration, and his name is Mr. Doug Nguyen. Hi, Doug. Welcome to our show.
Hi, Veronica, and I'm the Regional Communications Director. I appreciate you promoting me. I'm the Regional Communications Director.
As the representative of the Social Security Administration, you are here today because some of our viewers are really very much interested in hearing about the latest changes in the Social Security Administration and its program. Okay, Doug. First thing first. I already said Happy New Year to you, and that is in English. But also, the Chinese Lunar New Year is coming up soon, so that is a New Year celebration too. And you were last year the overall chairperson of the Asian American Coalition for the Lunar New Year celebration, correct?
That's right. And by the way, February 10th is actually day one, is the first day of the Lunar New Year, February 10th this year.
All right. And this year, the Year of the Dragon.
Year of the Dragon. Japanese American community will host it at the Drury Lane Hotel, Drury Lane Theater. Hopefully we'll see everybody there.
All right. Okay. Thank you. At the Hyatt?
No, not at the Hyatt. Do not go out to the Hyatt. Okay. It's at the Drury Lane Theater in Oak Brook Terrace this year.
In Oak Brook Terrace? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, the Drury Lane?
Drury Lane Theater, right.
Drury Lane Theater. Okay. All right. I'll put it in my calendar. Okay. Doug. Okay, we start. For 2024, Social Security has made some changes in its program. Can you please tell our viewing audience about all these changes? Not all, whatever you can tell us is very important in their lives.
Sure. Thanks, Veronica. Thanks for having me on as usual. I would say the most important change is an internal one. The Senate swore in Martin O'Malley to be our newest Commissioner of Social Security. He was sworn in back in December 20th, 2023. Martin O'Malley is the former mayor of Baltimore and also former governor of the state of Maryland. So he will serve a term that expires on January 19, 2025. He brings with him a great wealth of experience and expertise in using performance management and customer service technologies to improve government services. So we look forward to seeing an uptick in those measurements and those measurables in the near future. So that's probably the biggest change. And then the second change, which all your viewers are probably more curious about, is the 3.2% cost of living adjustment that was put in their Social Security and SSI benefit payments effective in January 2024, 3.2%. That cost of living adjustment, or the COLA, is based on the increase in the consumer price index, which is determined by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Okay, basically they look at the third quarter, the cost of goods and services from the third quarter of 2022 to the third quarter of 2023, and obviously there was an uptick in the CPIW, and hence Social Security and SSI benefits also get an increase to 3.2%. So that all took effect in January. Yep.
Okay, and just about the COLA for the 3.2%, right?
Right.
And do you think 3.2% increase is enough for to catch up with this with our economies all rising prices, which is the inflation? Would that be enough, or maybe substantial, or would that make our many of our seniors out there happy already?
Oh, Veronica, I would never presume to speak on your behalf or the behalf of your seniors, your viewers out there. You all are in the best position to tell me, how much is enough. We just implement that COLA the way we get it from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and the CPIW. Consumer price index is what it is. The COLA is what it is. But I'll say this: Social Security is unique, unlike other pension systems. Other pension systems, you get no adjustments, right? You get no increases. With Social Security, we protect you. We try to protect you from, the impacts of the rising cost of living. And we know it, we know that the challenges are real, but we try, at least we provide that basic financial safety net that Americans can count on. So that's what we have, is 3.2%. Let me add by saying that, people think about the increase in their Social Security and SSI checks or the payments. That's all they think about when they think about the COLA. But there are other aspects that your viewers and readers need to know. And we included this article on the COLA a couple of months back in Via Times, where with the rise in the COLA, the amount which Social Security is taxed, this is where you have earnings, right? You work and you earn. The maximum at which your earnings can be taxed is $168,600. $168,600. That's what you're taxed on. Okay, single employees are taxed at 7.65% per paycheck. Self-employed pay 15.3%. Right. So that's the amount. That's the maximum amount that we will tax your wages at, $168,600. What also goes up is the quarters of coverage. What we mean by quarters of coverage is generally to qualify for a Social Security benefit, you need about 40 quarters of coverage. Okay, and in 2024, if you earn $1,730, you are covered for 1/4. Okay. And if you earn 4 times that much, well, you get 4/4. And maximum you can earn is 4/4 a year. And you need to do that 10 years and you'll have your 40/4. What also goes up, we're seeing a lot of retirees work way into their retirement years, such as Veronica Layton. You work way into your retirement years, especially for those who are younger than their full retirement age. We're seeing a lot of that. When I say younger than their full retirement age, it's usually people between 62 and 67 years old. Right now, if you're born between 1943 and 1954, your full retirement age is 66. So if all the months before that, you get your Social Security between 62 and 66, you work there's an earnings cap. The earnings cap this year in 2024 is $22,320. It comes out to about $1,860 a month, and so we would deduct $1 in Social Security benefit. We would withhold $1 for every $2 of earnings above that limit of $22,320 a year until you reach your full retirement age. Once you reach your full retirement age, the year that you reach your full retirement age, that limit actually goes up substantially. It goes up to about $59,520 a year. And then once you reach your full retirement age, there's no earnings limit. You can work as much as you want. And we don't deduct your benefits.
What is the full-time age?
So again, full retirement age for those who were born between 1943 and 1954 is about, is that right? 66. Between, anything above that, then it's a scale between 66 and 67. If you're born after 1967, 1970, then your full retirement age, especially for younger workers, full retirement age is at 67. But for those, again, born between 43 and 54, full retirement age is 66. Okay. And so that's that.
For some workers or employees in this country, so they have a choice on their retirement age. Is it the early retirement or the full retirement age? Okay, that has been quite a big debate among the population. And what can you suggest as the best way for your retirement collection?
Yeah, that's
full-time. Wait for your full-time age.
Yeah, that's a common question that we get, Veronica. And Social Security, we're not financial planners. We're not your CPA. We're not your financial planners, okay? It's very much an individual decision that you have to make based on your family health history, your longevity, your financial and health condition, right? So if you need the benefits early, you can take it early. You have the choice to take it at 62. If you're going to spend a lot of sleepless nights wondering where the support is coming from, well, that's an easy decision then. You take it early because you need the money to live and pay the bills, right? So, but if you can wait, it's about an 8% increase a year. If you wait until 70, that's the maximum age at which you can wait up to and get Social Security. If you take it at 70, it's about 132%. of what you're due. And so you can see between 66, if you don't take it at 66 at your full retirement age for most people, and you wait until 70, it's like an 8% a year or 32% increase in their monthly benefits. So it's a permanent increase on the one side, but if you take it early, let's say you take it at 62 versus 66, it could be a 25 to 30% reduction in benefits, and that is a permanent reduction. So it could be hundreds of dollars of difference. So you really need to think it through, work it out, but certainly, if you need the money to live on, you need the money to live on.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, one last question. What is the future of the Social Security? Is it looking up or looking down?
Well, you know, Veronica, I'm always looking up. I mean, I'm always a glass half full kind of a person. So I'm always looking up. The FICA tax system, okay? We obviously we're a huge system because we protect over 180 million workers in the United States. That 7.65% FICA tax that I told you earlier, we take that from 180 million workers to pay out about $1.4 trillion a year in benefits. So we have we have enough in the trust funds to pay benefits all the way up to about 2034, at which point in 2034, if nothing is done, we would still have enough FICA taxes, payroll taxes coming in to pay out 80% of what we owe. Okay, so you'll get something. You'll get the 80%. It's just that 20% shortfall if Congress does nothing. But we're very confident. Again, I'm a hopeful person. I believe that Congress and the president will do something to shore up the system. But as all of our commissioners have previously said, it's best to do it sooner than later because it takes some time for law changes to impact benefits. So I mean, the last time we instituted or implemented any major changes, the last time was the Greenspan Commission back in 1983, and so it's been a while. So changes are long overdue, but we will leave that up to Congress. We just implement the law the way it's written.
Terrific. It really is nice hearing from you today, and having us enlightened and keeping us updated about the the latest news and changes in the Social Security. Okay, Doug, and we'll thank you for gracing our show today. And
Happy Lunar New Year. Happy Lunar New Year to you. Happy Lunar New Year to you.
Yeah. Okay. Winter to you too. All right. Thank you. Thank you for gracing our show today. Maraming salamat, Doug.
So much.
Maraming salamat in Vietnamese.
Ciao.
Doug is a Vietnamese.
Just ciao.
Not ciao. Doug, ciao. Maraming salamat. And thank you very much for watching our show today. And we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
We would like to welcome all of you to Baladna Jewelry. We have a very big selection of 21 karat gold jewelry imported from the Middle East, from Dubai, Saudi, and Bahrain. And we have a very big selection of diamond. We offer free financing for 6 months, and we have a layaway system which you can
leave your stuff for 3 months. We repair gold and we buy old gold. Welcome to بلدنا Jewelry.
Salamat po.
Good afternoon. This is Bridget Krina-Quetta bringing you this week's local news from our community. For the second consecutive year, Illinois has been named the #1 leader for workforce development in the Midwest region. The top ranking highlights the state of Illinois' commitment to expanding access to innovative workforce programs and making critical investments through legislation and programming to reduce barriers to good-paying jobs in order to create a thriving business ecosystem for job seekers, employees, and employers. The hard-working people of Illinois are at the forefront of our state's economic progress, making us the top state in the Midwest for workforce development for the second consecutive year, said Governor J.B. Pritzker. Since day one, my administration has been committed to making Illinois the best place to live. That's why we've made transformative investments in workforce development, education, and our businesses, ensuring that every Illinoisan has an opportunity to thrive. Illinois' greatest asset is its people, and through a variety of pre-apprenticeship, apprenticeship, and workforce development programs throughout the state, DCEO is opening the doors to opportunities to join the state's top-ranked workforce, said DCEO Director Kristen Richards. The American Red Cross is experiencing an emergency blood shortage as the nation faces the lowest number of people giving blood in 20 years. The Red Cross blood supply has fallen to critically low levels across the country, and blood and platelet donors are urged to make a donation appointment to help alleviate the shortage and help ensure life-saving medical procedures are not put on hold. Over the past 20 years, the number of people donating blood to the Red Cross has fallen by about 40%. When fewer people donate blood, even small disruptions to blood donations, such as the nearly 7,000 unit shortfall in blood donations as the Red Cross experienced between Christmas and New Year's Day alone, can have a huge impact on the availability of blood products and dramatic consequences for those in need of emergency blood transfusion. Blood products are currently going to hospitals faster than blood donations are coming in, and in recent weeks, the Red Cross has had to limit distributions of type O blood products, among the most transfused blood types, to hospitals. More challenges lie ahead as the potential for severe weather and seasonal illness may compound the dire blood supply situation. Donors of all types, especially those with type O blood and those giving platelets, are urged to give now. Don't wait. Make an appointment. Download the Red Cross Blood Donor app, visit redcrossblood.org, or call 1-800-733-2767. Due to inclement weather conditions, Illinois Secretary of State Alexi Giannoulias is encouraging those seeking Secretary of State services at driver and motor vehicle facilities to call 1-800-252-8980 or visit www.ilsos.gov to ensure availability. In times of inclement weather, like the current cold snap the state is experiencing this week, Illinoisans should check ahead to ensure that they have access to the services they require before heading out to the DMV, Giannoulias said. We've also made more services available online at www.ilsos.gov, so people no longer need to visit a DMV. In addition to more services now available online at ilsos.gov, as part of Giannoulias' Do It Online, Skip the Line approach, the office has made design changes to its website to make all available online services more accessible and expanded eligibility for online driver's license and state ID renewals. Former President Donald Trump is the heavy favorite to win Iowa's Republican presidential caucuses Monday, leading his closest challengers in polls by more than 30 percentage points. Real Clear Politics poll average of major polls across the country shows Trump with more than 52% support in the Hawkeye state. His closest challenger there, former South Carolina Governor and Ambassador Nikki Haley, shows 18.2% support, a nearly 34% percentage point gap between the number 1 and number 2 candidates in the state. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is an even more distant third with 15.6% support. Monday's caucuses in Iowa, where temperatures are expected to hover just below 0 degrees and wind chills could hit a minus 35 degrees or worse, are the first time voters get to weigh in during the Republican primary season. In the 3 months after Hamas attacked Israel, on October 7th, anti-Semitic incidents increased throughout the U.S. by 360%, according to preliminary data published by the Anti-Defamation League. At least 3,283 incidents were reported between October 7, 2023 and January 7, 2024, according to the preliminary data. This represents a 360% increase from the 712 incidents reported over the same time period in the prior year. It's also higher than any total tracked in any year in the past decade, except for 2022. In 2022, the total number of anti-Semitic incidents were already at a historic high of 3,697, with an 87% increase occurring in the southwest region of the U.S. That's all for today. Thank you for watching your news this week. This is Bridget. See you next time.
Yan! Dito na